But the question is, are we? To think, brothers and sisters, that things mean more than people, that we do not understand the value of what we have here. We don't understand what this body, this mind, this essence is. Therefore, we can destroy it so easily because we really don't understand what this is. I would like to tonight, in the next few minutes, by the grace of Allah, explain what this is. And then how we got so messed up mentally that we can't see the value of ourselves. Now, as I speak about value, I want each person in here, young, old, whatever your hue, color, race, or ethnic origin, I want you to think about yourself, because there is so much value in each one of you that if you do not come to the realization of who you are, then you will never realize what you should expect from yourself and from others. I want you to follow me now. Let's take this journey. You are a microcosm of the universe, and you are, in your own being, a witness of God. Not only a witness of God in terms of the life that He has given, but you are a witness of God in the way you began your journey to life. Listen carefully. Each human being begins this life in total darkness. And in total darkness, the essence of light is present. That is to teach us that there never is a condition that is without hope. There is no problem that we suffer from that there is not a solution for that problem. Lying right in the problem is the solution. Listen to us, please. In the darkest darkness, there is the essence of light, for God brought light out of darkness. So if God brought light out of darkness, then darkness is the mother of light. Listen. And black is the mother of white. Now, that's not a racist statement. I don't want any white person in here to think that I'm being unkind. Listen, you all have to know your origin in this world. And because you have thought so little of black people, and black people have thought so little of themselves, it is necessary for the whole world to understand who we are, and for us to understand who we are, to appreciate ourselves and then appreciate the children that came from self. Let's go back now. We're talking about darkness and light. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that God had no father or no mother. God is self-created. The Quran says he was not begotten, nor does he beget. Self-created. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that from an atom in the darkness of space, he created himself. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us that Allah was a light of himself in a universe of total darkness. What does that got to do with me? In the sperm of the male, and in the egg of the female, there is the potential power of human life. That essence, which is the essence of all of us here tonight, had to be placed in the right environment, under the right circumstances, at the right time, in order for life to be conceived. Sperm is the root of us all. But the sperm was placed in a hostile environment. The vaginal tract of the female is not conducive for the life of the sperm. Talk to me. Now. This is biology, children. If the sperm could talk, the sperm would say, man, I got a rough job here. I got to swim in a hostile environment. And there's 100 million other dudes in here with me that has the same objective in mind. And I got to get to this egg before everybody else, or I'm out of here. Sperm is saying, if sperm could talk, it would be saying, I got to take the uphill road, swim against gravity to get to this egg. Now God has so fixed it where the odds that you and you and you and you and you and I and we would make it were so great that only the strongest of us would survive. Now, since we were cast into a hostile environment, God doesn't make life necessarily easy. He allows us to struggle against a hostile environment because the hostile environment brings out of us the best and the worst. Before we became conscious, we had to deal with a hostile environment. And before we became conscious, the odds that we would make it were 100 million to 1 billion to 1. And before we became conscious, we had to swim up against the force of gravity to get to the egg. And each one of us made that journey. So each one of us that made it is qualified to run the race of life. And the race is not to the swift, but to the one that could endure to the end. You got the picture? Now, you see this planet that we stand on? Some of you have been outside for a long time waiting to get in. And some of you have been sitting here for nearly 2 hours. And while you were sitting here, you were traveling. You thought you were standing still. But you have traveled, if you've been sitting here 2 hours, over 2,000 miles since you've been sitting here. Smoothest ride you've ever had in your life. Now, white folks did pretty good with that 747. But it's not smoother than the planet that you're standing on. Now, this planet is constantly in motion, isn't it? What causes the planet to move? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us it's the presence of light striking the earth at its equator, causing the earth to do what? Spin. As the earth rotates on its axis, following the law of light, obeying the law of light, the earth revolves around the sun, paying homage to the sun, making 4 dips in and out, giving us our seasons and our changes. Responding to what? To light. Very good. Now, when the sperm meets the egg, they say an explosion takes place and you have the first cell of life. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the cell of life in the darkness of the womb, unknown by the mother, unknown by the father, unknown to only the Creator. Isn't that heavy? Look, I want you to just understand principally what I'm about to say. Because your mother didn't know she was pregnant. And your father didn't know and was frightened when he found out. Maybe. But God knew. And he and you were together. Now listen to me carefully. Not your mama and you, not your daddy and you, but God and you in your first state were together. You have never been alone. You have never been without the presence of your Creator. And so there is nothing, listen, there is nothing in this world that you cannot do. Even if you feel alone and lonely, you are never alone as long as you are conscious of the fact that you are never alone. Listen carefully now. That sperm, when it meets the egg and the first cell of life takes place, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it begins to turn in the darkness. Anytime an object starts turning, light is present. And it is the presence of light and the motion brought about by light that brings about the evolutionary change. Oh, are you listening to me? Well, did somebody shine a flashlight in the womb? Where's the light coming from? The light is a part of your very being. You, at your core, are light. Oh, brothers and sisters. So as you and I begin to rotate, we begin to form into a clot, then an embryo, then a fetus. In a bag of waters, we start evolving and we're turning in the womb. Over and over and over, turning, making up, going through changes, getting ready for the journey of life. So you come forth out of the darkness of your mother's womb, complete yet incomplete. The Quran says, I have made you complete yet incomplete. The baby is complete. It's got everything it needs, but now it needs to be fed properly in order to evolve into what? You've already evolved into a fully grown likeness of what is called a human being. But now what can you evolve to when you're physically grown, and when you're spiritually grown, what will you be? All right. Let's go back to the Bible and Quran. Pardon me if I make this into a little class, but you know, brothers and sisters, I don't get to San Diego often, and I know it's if you give me just a few more minutes, I want to complete this thought. Are you all right? Good. Okay, let's take this journey now. Follow me, because this is critical to understand. Brother and sister, look. This evolution that takes place with the presence of light means that you are light, and only the presence of light can sustain your life. You say, you are the sunshine of my life. Who is the you that's the light of your life? It is not the woman that you're in love with. Of course, she makes you feel good. It's not the man you're in love with. He makes you feel good. But that's not the essence of your life. The essence of your life is the creator of light. So the sunshine of your life has always got to be your creator. And when you take him out of the spot that he and he alone should occupy, and you give that which belongs only to him to each other, or to other objects that are not worthy of your worship, then the light of your being begins to go out. Y'all all right?